And we're coming to you live from the Bill Fuller Tough Studio. Boomer Esiason and Greg Giannotti. It's Boomer and Gio on the Fans. Simulcast across the country on CBS Sports Network. And wherever you are in the free Odyssey app. Good Tuesday morning. What a fantastic basketball game. If you are a Knicks fan, yeah, it was ugly at times. We saw a lot of missed shots, make or miss league, the whole thing. But my goodness, when they are down 20, we were actually texting each other. I was furious with Karl Anthony Towns. I was annoyed. I was thinking about going to bed when they're down 20 and saying, screw this, they're going to get swept. And then they fight back. They fight back. They fight back. Porzingis goes out. OG Anunoby gets hot in the third quarter. Jalen Brunson in the fourth quarter. In the overtime, Mikal Bridges is everywhere. And the Knicks have one of their most memorable playoff wins in a very, very long time. We were just had no memories of good Knicks basketball for almost 2 decades. And the last 2 playoff games that they have played, I'm never going to forget. Great start. Got to keep it going. Celtics definitely helped the Knicks out last night, but that was phenomenal. Overtime, game winner, up 1-0. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
I couldn't open the show any better than that. I mean, and look, I didn't get much sleep last night. I mean, this is insane, these overtime games, but I'll take it. You know, this is what I take out of this game last night. Number one, the Knicks are a resilient bunch. They busted their ass in the third quarter. They kept it close. Jalen Brunson is an amazing basketball player, especially on the offensive end of the court. He hit so many big threes late in this game. It was amazing. And then watching, a couple of players who the Knicks have paid and also traded for, Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, come up huge in these spots. This is why you acquired these guys. Now, they got to continue to do it. But there were a couple other things that I saw from the Celtics' perspective that may hurt them moving forward, which is good news for us as Knicks fans. Number one, nobody's talking about it. Sam Hauser, sprained ankle. I don't know how bad that is. That's a big part of their bench.
Right, when he committed a foul on that play.
He committed a foul. Right. It was a 3-point shot foul that I think it was OG.
Yes,
it hit 2 out of 3. But he's out. That looked like a serious ankle injury. Okay, so that hurts the Celtics moving forward. That's what we were talking about. If they get an injury here or there, now we were talking obviously the big 3 for them, but I would say that with Porzingis being ill last night, Hauser getting hurt, now all of a sudden their depth is really pressured. Now their depth actually scored more than the Knicks' depth, but it was nice to see Miles McBride come off the bench and hit 3 3-pointers. That was good. That was a thing that had been missing in the previous series. So they steal one last night. I think that probably helps their confidence. And then finally, from a Celtics standpoint, I don't really care about the Celtics, but if they're going to keep playing this way, which is the way that they play, just hoisting up threes, it's like such an easy way of playing basketball. Like there's no tenacity or intensity associated with that. And if they're going to miss the amount of shots that they miss 75% of their 3-pointers.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen again.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's insane. But more importantly for the Knicks moving forward, number one is I'm sure Porzingis will be healthier come Wednesday. I'm sure they're giving him IVs and everything else.
I don't know, man. He's been dealing with this for a majority of the season, and it's been this recurring illness. So I don't know if it's such a lock that he's going to come back and be 100% because this has been bothering him most of the year.
All right, so if that's the case, then that's another break for the Knicks. But the Sam Hauser thing is huge, and nobody's talking about it. I mean, that's a big loss for them. He plays a lot of minutes, comes off the bench. He's part of that second wave of Boston Celtics players like Peyton Pritchard, and and the fact that he went down, that now cuts into their depth, and now everybody's playing a little bit more, a little bit longer. And I think also when you take a look at the NBA playoffs, 3 road teams stole game 1. And I would say that they stole game 1 just simply because the other teams were sitting around for about a week waiting to play. So whether or not this will continue, that's anybody's guess. But I think the fact that you have already an injured Boston Celtic player and Porzingis ill for whatever it is, to me, that's the opportunity. The door is open now. The opportunity is there for the Knicks to see if they can win this series. I don't necessarily know that I would have felt that way if a couple guys didn't get hurt last night.
Well, I mean, we said over and over again throughout the entire season, even during the Pistons series, give us a reason to believe that you could beat this team. And two things happened. And the Knicks played well enough and came back and gave us a reason. And also some of the injury things that happened last night with Hauser and Porzingis giving us a reason. And Reggie Miller was bringing up a lot of the time. It kind of reminded me or made me think that Reggie Miller has more information on Jalen Brown being hurt than he wants to say. And he's just dropping these little hints like, he's really not elevating as much as he usually does. If you watch him here, he just doesn't look the same. And so he may not be 100% as well. And that's the type of stuff that you're going to need to be able to beat the Celtics is a record-setting, horrible night from three and injuries. And I have to say that OG Anunoby is the second-best player on this team, and I don't even think it's close. I love this guy. Karl Anthony Towns is supposed to be the second-best player on this team. OG Anunoby, with his defense, his clutch threes, the way that he carried that team offensively without Jalen Brunson during the regular season, this guy, I could not love him more.
And this is why the Knicks traded for him and gave him the huge contract.
Yeah, and by the way, Mikal Bridges, who we've been all over, and rightfully so, I mean, this guy was playing like this was the last basketball game he was ever going to play in his life last night. Defensively, every single minute, maximum effort from him. So yes, all the respect goes to Mikal Bridges as well.
When you and I were texting each other in the first half, it was missed free throws, it was turnovers, and it was missed shots. Those things are driving us crazy. And the Knicks players have got to realize, Mitchell Robinson is a guy that needs to throw the ball to him underneath the basket or, alley-oop it to him. You can't throw baseball passes to him. He's like an offensive tackle running down the field and you're trying to throw him a pass. I mean, he can't. That's just not his game.
Yeah.
His game is in around the basket and a little bit of help on defense. And I did get a little annoyed last night with the Hack and Mitch thing because it really is bothering me. I was going to send you a text. I don't think I did. I don't know.
Not with Mitchell Robinson.
Right. So I was going to send you a text, man, they need to get rid of this guy. They're going to get killed. But at the end of the day, when you look at the statistics in this game, he was a plus 13.
Yeah, I mean, and two things I don't think are going to happen again in this series is the Knicks being that bad from the free throw line and the Celtics being that bad from three. I can't imagine that that's going to happen again. Although, if Mitch is out on the floor as much as he was last night, and they keep doing what they were doing and putting him on the line, then they may have that horrific free throw percentage. But, it was amazing. You went from a game where they were getting boat raced and blown out to a game where you're like, they can't lose this. They can't blow this game. If they would have lost this game with how bad the Celtics were from three-point range, I would have said you can't beat them. It's impossible. You can't beat them.
Those late threes by Brunson were...
Yeah,
I mean they were swish, swish, swish. It just kept coming.
I mean, he's unbelievable. Everybody talks about the clutch player thing. Just incredible. I've never felt more comfortable with the ball in a guy's hands as a Knicks fan. Because he's always got the ball in his hands. He's bringing the ball up the court. We've talked about, you watched Clyde all those years ago. I did not. The Knicks were struggling to find a great point guard.
We haven't had a great. We tried with Stevie Francis, Steph Marbury. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on.
I've never felt more comfortable with the guy with the ball in his hands.
This is one of the great moves in Knicks history. One of the great free agent signings in Knicks history, and he certainly has answered the bell. Now, look, they got a long way to go. They've won 5 out of what they need 16 to get a championship. And like I was saying yesterday, one possession, one quarter, one half, one game. And you just never know how these games are going to play out. And to their credit, in the third quarter, they were amazing. I mean, they just kept hanging around. And then Boston kept missing shots. They were getting rebounds. And then all of a sudden, Jalen heated up. Anunoby heated up. Mikal Bridges hits a huge three.
I mean, that whole turnaround was predicated on how well they were playing defensively. They were all over the place. They were giving maximum effort. They were closing out on the three-pointers. They were making sure that when they played their best defense, it was to defend the three, and they were giving up a little bit more when the Celtics wanted to drive to the basket. And that mentality and that strategy ended up working for them.
Do you know the Knicks actually made more three-pointers than the Celtics did?
Yeah, with the Celtics shooting 61 of them, right?
Yeah, so the Knicks buried 17 three-pointers. The Celtics buried 15 three-pointers. They missed 45 three-pointers, obviously an NBA playoff record. I mean, to me, the three-point shot, as I've often said here a million times, is easy basketball. Unless of course, you got to, cross over, throw it through your legs, and then fall back and get yourself away from somebody like Jalen Brunson seems to do a lot these days.
Yeah.
Which is really a testament to his shooting prowess and his ability to do it in the biggest spots. But, I mean, that's lazy, shooting that many three-pointers, 63 points, that's just lazy basketball, and especially when the Knicks are in foul trouble.
I mean, there's really no bigger disparity in sports with a team looking great and a team looking terrible than in basketball when a team's making threes or missing threes. Like when the Celtics won the NBA Finals last year, being better than everybody at shooting the three ball, and when they do it well, it's unbelievable to watch. Not quite as good as the Klay Thompson, Steph Curry years when they were doing it, but I mean, it's like that. And when they miss, I mean, it's the ugliest thing you've ever seen, and the Knicks took advantage of it.
Especially when it goes into overtime and you add more three-point shot attempts, and it's just, can we expect them to do it differently? I mean, I'm surprised that Joe Mazzulla didn't say, like, hey, Karl Anthony Towns has got this many fouls. This guy's got that many fouls. Just keep hacking, Mitchell Robinson.
Well, also, I mean, when you're up 20, why are you, hurling threes every single possession? I mean,
it's insane. I know. So they played into what the Knicks had to have happen. So with the illness to Porzingis, with the injury to Hauser, with their awful shooting, their awful decision-making, and allowing the Knicks to get back into the game, it's a credit. And, we have two wing defenders that are supposedly trying to stop both Tatum and Brown. That's why Anunoby and Bridges are here, is to stop those two guys.
Yeah.
And I got to say that I don't know if they totally stopped them, but they had their hands in their face. They were contesting balls. And the fact that Bridges makes the steal at the end of the game.
He was unbelievable in overtime. He hit the big three.
You talk about Bridges also with the hustle and everything. There was a sequence in the beginning of the game where Josh Hart, smallest guy on the court, is up there and he gets double offensive rebounds. And he's just going up and getting the ball. I mean, that's the attitude that we saw last year. That was the team that we fell in love with last year. That guy getting those rebounds early on and feeding them out. And I think it was Jalen Brunson hit a three after either Bridges or somebody else missed an opportunity. But that hustle, because in the beginning, there were a couple breaks that the Celtics had. Like breakaways, and it was like guys were watching their shot and then forgot to cover Tatum running down the court.
Yeah, there was too many offensive rebounds for the Celtics to my liking as well. They got that second and third opportunities late in the game, and it didn't end. They missed so many threes, it didn't end up killing them. But there's one other thing that, I mean, you can spin this any way you want. Glass half full, glass half empty. I mean, the Knicks were able to do what they did last night with a 0 from Karl Anthony Towns again, essentially.
Well, he had 13 rebounds. I mean, he had 13
but still,
rebounds.
I mean, this guy was out of the game most of the time.
He was out of whack.
Foul trouble. He's just, I mean, it's unbelievable.
All right, so listen, I don't want to really belabor that point. They won the game.
No,
you remember the great Al Davis?
Yeah, no, I understand that.
What did great Al Davis say?
They said, just win, baby, right?
Yeah, that's what he said. Right, just win, baby. It doesn't matter how.
No,
just win.
I said you could look at it glass half full, glass half empty if you'd like. It's just they were able to win when that guy had his head up. This has to be
head
up his ass.
This has to be a half full scenario.
All right. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
I told you it's a memorable
Nobody says
win.
it better than Al Dukes.
He's still frustrating the hell out of me.
One more time, Eddie. Yeah.
All right.
That's all that matters.
I understand, but if you want to win a series, he's got to get his head out of his ass.
If I could actually put an emoji on our texting back and forth, it would probably be the exploding head emoji.
You love the exploding head emoji,
right?
Yes.
I like that, or the mean emoji.
Yeah, mean face emoji.
Where you got the tape over your mouth and it's got the X and all that stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just want to curse, you want to scream, and you want to yell.
Yeah.
And there were times where we got to that point, I think.
Yeah. But here this morning, we are not at that point.
This is why they play the game, G.
Riding high. And if you want to steal one, you want to get one on the road,
go get another one. Now go get another one.
You already did that.
Be
now
selfish.
The next one's
get
gravy.
another one.
Yeah.
No, nothing's gravy. Go get it.
No, next one's gravy.
No, gravy. No. We're not talking about gravy.
Spot. Yeah, next one's gravy spot.
They're going to have to win a game 7. They're going to have to win a game 7 in Boston.
Okay.
And they could do it.
Well, if they win game 2, then maybe they don't even have to worry about that.
Listen.
That's why I said it's a gravy spot.
I'm just telling you right now, it's not a gravy spot. There's no such thing as gravy. Right now,
definitely gravy spot.
Right now, it's you dig in spot. This is a dig in spot.
Okay, and they will dig in. I'm just saying, if you lose, gravy.
No, you got to dig in, man.
If you win, it's gravy.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, there's nothing more satisfying than getting like an hour's sleep after a game like that. I swear to God, there's not.
But the game ended at like 9:55. Why would you only get an hour's sleep?
Because I'm like jacked up. You expect me to fall asleep right after that?
Well, I mean, I expect you to fall asleep before 3 a.m.
Whatever. I was tossing and turning.
It's unbelievable.
What do you mean?
Well, it's just not healthy.
Yeah, I know, but it's let's face it, as Knicks fans, we haven't had moments like this. Many of them.
Yeah, we've been very unhealthy.
I'm just thinking, by the middle of next week, I don't know where we're going to be, but right now, I just want to enjoy it, and I just want to say that you said you were activated. When did you say you were activated for this team?
I actually never did.
You never said, or
no,
you
I
were
never
not
said
activated.
I was activated. I mean, I'm activated because it's the playoffs, but I didn't declare an activation. You know what I'm saying? Like I did with my other teams. I haven't declared an activation with them. But, I mean, I'm activated. It's the freaking second round of the playoffs.
So you are activated.
Well, of course. How could you not be?
But it's not like you said you didn't declare an activation.
I didn't, but it doesn't mean I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but normally you declare an activation, and you just didn't in this case. And that's amazing to me.
I didn't. I mean, I think it was really, if I was going to pick a time, it was the game one against the Pistons because the regular season had gotten boring for everybody. So that's the activation. The activation was for the Knicks, too, themselves. That was their activation. So that's probably when it was. And now we're at full activation. Up 1-0 on the Celtics in the second round.
I'm sure that I would think that up in Boston, they have to be annoyed with the way that this team performed yesterday. But again, like I said, all three underdog teams that started on the road in the semifinals of the NBA playoffs stole their game one, basically. OKC lost, Cleveland lost, and Boston lost. The three best teams in the NBA all lost their opening round or opening game in the second round.
Yeah, 7-game series. We'll see who prevails.
Now, the question is, can Golden State do it to Minnesota tonight?
Sure. Why not?
I don't know. Minnesota's probably the biggest team in the NBA.
They're big.
They're very big.
Big and tough.
Big,
thick,
gritty.
Boomer and Gio on the Fan and CBS Sports Network, just getting started on this feel-good Tuesday after the Knicks beat the Celtics in overtime last night, take a 1-0 series lead over Boston. Jerry will be in here in just a couple of minutes.